Welcome to the Transnet podcast. We're coming to you from the Transnet Pavilion here at the Africa Rail Conference in Sandton at the Sandton Convention Center. I am Milton Nkosi, and I am joined, happy to announce that I'm joined this afternoon by the wonderful Nkumbulo Sithole, Senior Specialist Climate Change at the Climate Change and Energy under Corporate Sustainability within Transnet Corporate Center. I hope I introduced you well there, Nkumbulo. Welcome.
Thank you, Milton. Yes, indeed, you introduced me correctly.
That's wonderful. I know you come from Itopo. I wanted to give you the Itopo welcome to the podcast.
Yes, it's befitting.
Can I begin by asking you, what drives Transnet to pursue energy efficiency strategies and initiatives?
Firstly, we drive this through our energy strategy, and it is important to us because we are an energy-intensive organization. In 2022 alone, we utilize about 2.4 terawatt hours of electricity and about 200 million liters of fuel. And about 70% of that goes to freight rail. Now, we also pay around 8 billion rand for both fuel and electricity. So it's important for us to try.
That's a lot of money, 8 billion.
Yes, it's a lot, and it's increasing. So in terms of energy efficiency initiatives, then they will then allow us to reduce the cost of electricity as well as fuel, which the split is about 47% to fuel and 53% to electricity. Now, the issue with being such an energy-intensive organization as well is in terms of our decarbonization commitments. So in 2021, we have committed to reduce our emissions, and we committed to a 2040 net zero. Therefore, energy efficiency is going to play a very critical role there.
That's not far away.
It's very close. It's very close. So we are more concerned, especially when it comes to fuel, because alternative sources for fuel, like green hydrogen or biofuels, are not here right now to help us decarbonize, more especially our rail network. So therefore, we are going to even put more efforts in terms of electricity to reduce it at this stage, while we are looking into the long term in terms of how we are also going to decarbonize our fuel locomotives.
I know you mentioned the overall strategy, but are you already implementing any other measures to try and augment this gap of energy, to try and help you to contribute to the climate change cause?
Definitely, as an organization, Transnet, we are already looking into alternative means of energy. In the last year, our different operating divisions have been out to test the market in terms of what they can offer us in terms of renewable energy sources. And recently, we went to tender again for procurement of about 20 megawatt in Richards Bay. So there's traction there, and there are other options. I mean, for rail, for instance, our locomotives have a capability of regenerative braking, which can assist us to even feedback to the grid to offset our cost through net metering, or even store this energy in the battery banks within the locomotives and supplement the usage on the locomotives. So these are the initiatives. Some of them are at a developmental phase, and we are hoping that they will help us to attain our goal to achieve net zero 2040, but also in terms of our decarbonization drives.
You bring me where I wanted to go now in my next question. Nkumbulo, how important are these energy efficiency measures that you are talking about for the South African transport sector?
Yes. We move a lot of cargo on our rail networks, and we contribute a lot also to the economy. And if you look into the Department of Transport, they have a strategy which is called road to rail modal shift, where they are trying to move volumes from road to rail. And this is both in terms of the actual volumes, tons, but also in terms of carbon reduction, in terms of emissions. So this is how we are going to contribute to reduce the emissions in terms of the country. So we are looking in terms of the national determined contribution commitments. Then we can, as Transnet, contribute there for the country. But also we have customers which move their cargo on our rail. And from time to time they inquire about their scope 3 emissions, which is part of the value chain outside their control. Therefore, they want to reduce those emissions, which Transnet is in full control of. Therefore, it's also important for our customers that we undertake such measures.
Yeah, that's quite impressive layout of measures. How optimistic are you that not just Transnet, your clientele base, and also the communities around Transnet? No man is an island, as they say, so Transnet is not an island. You are contributing this to the wider South African and, dare I say, Southern Africa and Africa populations. How optimistic are you where you are sitting as a senior climate change expert within Transnet to make us hopeful that these goals, 2040 net zero, are achievable?
Yes. I think it's important because we have seen the commitment, in particular from the government, in terms of the Presidential Climate Change Commission, which is then driving the issues of climate change. And also we have seen in South Africa that there is some traction in terms of incorporating renewables, even though not that quick. And we have seen also now the effects of climate change, like the floods that we have seen in Durban. I mean, just yesterday there was a big tornado there which had destroyed a household. So there is a drive from government, from NGOs and other players to reduce the impacts of climate. Therefore, I'm confident that as South Africa we are moving in the right direction. We have committed to reduce our emissions in terms of the Paris Agreement 2015. So definitely I am confident that we are going to achieve this if we work together with our communities, the government and so on.
So what message do you have for ordinary South Africans who you would like to come on board to assist you to reach these goals?
Yes. We can say now it's not theory. Climate change is not theory. It's something that we have seen. We have seen it impacting our people, and the impacts are very bad. Therefore, if we all put our efforts, even by changing that light bulb at home from 100 watt to LED 15 to 10 watt, we are contributing in terms of mitigating the effects of climate. So everyone has a role to play.
And this connects you with the overall Transnet strategy, of course, of the renewal and growth strategy that Transnet is embarked on.
definitely, as the world transition, and it is also our aim as Transnet, as the organization, to transition with the world and also grow as we renew as the organization. Yes.
Nkumbulo, Sithole, thank you so much. We can talk about this till the cows come home, but unfortunately we have a limited time. So thank you so much for sharing your insights and what you do as a senior climate change expert within Transnet. We are grateful for your information and education about this subject. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Milton.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.